歡迎收睇藝方星期天，我係 Billy 李志芬。今個星期咧，我哋有位舊朋友再次嚟到我哋嘅節目現場。咁佢就係吉他演奏家楊雪霏。舊年11月尾咧，佢再度嚟臨香港演出幾場音樂會。今日我哋好開心咧，邀請到楊雪霏上嚟同我哋講下佢2022年嘅大計。陣間第二節就有得睇啦，唔好行開啊！金魚同錦鯉喺中國文化裏邊咧，象徵財富好運。呢幾百年嚟，色彩繽紛嘅鯉魚更加係好多家庭飼養嘅寵物。本地藝術家魏詠琳係獨生女，咁自細咧就同屋企嘅錦鯉成為好朋友，而魚亦都係佢油畫創作嘅主題。
你睇住佢哋個樣嘅時候，我就會覺得佢係開開合合，其實同我講緊嘢啦。我都認為我有同佢哋溝通嘅能力咯，即係會令我覺得有種人性喺度。我覺得佢哋都會打喊路啦，又會瞓覺啦，不過只係擘大眼瞓覺啦。
藝術家魏詠琳又名阿魏，佢話自己12歲第一次養錦鯉。自此就開始愛上魚。佢話自己可以就咁坐喺度睇魚幾個鐘頭，而魚亦對佢嘅藝術創作有好大影響。
我諗嚟呢度睇魚就可以睇到嗰條魚嗰個外貌係點樣啦，或者佢哋游走嘅時候唔同角度。因為我覺得佢哋好自由自在㗎嘛，仲要佢哋係唔使用隻腳行路。所以我覺得佢哋係好特別咯，好似飛嚟飛去咁樣。我12歲左右就養咗呢2條錦鯉喎，跟住之後養咗8年啦，之後佢哋就走咗啦。咁當時我就成日都發夢見到佢哋喎。咁其實喺佢哋走咗嘅時候，我都好唔開心啦。咁因為佢哋走之前，我都有諗過，我係咪可以去學下點樣做標本啊？即係將佢哋變做標本，咁我咪可以繼續見到佢哋啦。當時大學話呢個就係佢哋嘅樣嚟。呢幅大概係09年嘅時候魚人嘅雛形。我諗呢幾幅都算係。
阿魏係香港浸會大學視覺藝術系最早期嘅畢業生。畢業之後，佢開始以自己夢中見到嘅錦鯉為藍本，繪畫一款結合人同埋魚嘅生物，佢稱之為魚人。
咁有一次偶然畫咗佢哋出嚟之後咧，就冇再發夢見到佢哋喎。咁於是我覺得嗰個係一個情感嘅出口咯，即係一個潛意識同現實世界入邊一個好得意嘅關係咯。咁自此我就用咗佢哋嘅樣去做我故事嘅男女主角咯。其實男女魚人佢哋發生嘅事都係大家生活上面會遇到嘅事咯，好似天布頓嗰套外星人襲地球咁樣，一啲異類喺人群裏邊生活，同我哋一樣咁樣咯。
對阿魏嚟講，顏色係佢藝術作品最重要嘅元素之一。佢從事蠟像調色工作13年，呢份工作鍛鍊佢觀察日常生活嘅細節，以及運用顏色嘅技巧。佢以前都嘗試過用其他媒介創作，但係佢依然最喜歡繪畫。
因為我喺嗰度會愛上咗幫啲立體嘅嘢上色啦，我又需要去根據皮膚嘅顏色去調色。咁嗰度係俾到我一啲樂趣同埋一啲磨練咯。顏色呢樣嘢會令我覺得繪畫上面可以有好多嘅發揮啦。而你揸住一支畫筆，有一堆顏色，你就可以天馬行空咁樣做到你想講嘅嘢。對於我嚟講，都係始終好 amazing 咯。所以我最中意都係畫畫。
而家喺安全口畫廊舉行嘅展覽，請試着以雙手摘帽，展出3位藝術家嘅作品，包括阿蟻嘅12幅油畫。今次佢嘅作品系列以出走為主題，阿蟻想像佢呢2個魚人出現喺香港唔同嘅景點，抒發佢過去2年嘅情感。
我覺得今次呢個作品入邊，2條魚同埋一個無人嘅背景，就係好似進入咗一個無人之境。感覺就係呢1-2年嚟，好似好抽離，但係又好實在嘅感覺。咁今次嘅作品嘅背景其實全部都係香港嘅風景，而呢啲風景都係我覺得好代表到香港，我心目中嘅香港嘅。咁而大部分都係我經常會經過嘅地方啦。因為其實我想講嘅係男女啦，但佢哋可以係男男或者係女女。呢個就係2個人嘅世界咯。你睇到其實係情感之間，佢哋有啲情緒嘅 up and down，有即係一段感情入邊，你會見到有疑惑啦，有平靜啦，有希望或者失望嘅時候咯。
除咗蠟像調色嘅工作同埋繪畫之外，阿蟻都好中意去寫生。佢好享受觀察呢個城市，然後再用自己嘅方法去表達。
呢幾年係真係多咗走入大自然啦，咁發現其實香港真係好靚。其實我喺我平時日常生活中，所有香港人都係我創作入邊嘅素材咯。我都會中意留意啲情侶，係因為我覺得感情都係我創作嘅其中好大部分嘅題材啦。咁呢條魚人咧，佢哋今次嘅出走其實就係代表緊呢1-2年究竟大家尋找緊啲乜嘢咧？咁可能 for 我其實係揾緊一個家嘅感覺，未必係4埲牆嘅一間屋啦，係可能係一種生活嘅模式。
喺香港，小朋友想無拘無束咁玩，其實咧都唔係咁容易㗎。學校功課繁重，考試壓力又大，為咗要有好成績，少不免要放棄玩樂。加上香港土地問題，咁除咗政府管轄嘅公園之外咧，都好難揾到其他大型嘅遊樂場。香港兆基創意書院現時舉行展覽《我們的抽象遊戲地景》，咁展出60去到80年代香港公共遊樂場嘅模型。咁展覽期間呢，仲有工作坊同埋導賞團，市民可以喺遊樂場嘅設計上吸取靈感，創作陶瓷同埋繪畫。歡迎翻嚟第2節嘅藝坊星期天。喺北京出世嘅吉他手楊雪菲，7歲開始學彈吉他， 咁經過多年喺北京同英國研習吉他之後，楊雪飛現時喺倫敦居住。佢最擅長嘅咧就係演奏西班牙及古典吉他樂曲。佢亦都被譽為世界數一數二古典吉他演奏家。楊雪飛不但喺中國內地大力推廣吉他呢一種樂器同佢嘅音樂，咁佢亦都重新改編多首吉他樂曲。楊雪飛之前呢上過嚟我哋嘅節目好幾次，今日我哋好開心啦，可以邀請到佢再次嚟到我哋嘅節目現場，同觀眾分享今年2022年嚟緊有啲咩大計。
Shui-Fei, it's a delight to have you here in the studio. Thank you so much for coming.
Hello, Ben.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure to be here and talk to you again.
And yes, it's wonderful to have you back at the works again, I was going to say. And you've been very busy in the time between visits here to the studio, and also very busy just in this little time that you've spent with us here in Hong Kong. What program did you put together for audiences here?
The program is called Crossing the Borders. I was thinking that during the pandemic, lots of people are not able to travel the world, although they wanted to. So I thought that I will take them to travel the world with my music. So that's the idea behind. So I featured music from many different countries, such as Spain, Brazil, Argentina, and China. So that's the whole idea, crossing borders.
Right. A fantastic concept, and I think one we really did need here in Hong Kong with the pandemic issue. And then transitioning that to playing with the orchestra, and you've done that a couple of different times actually, and one was with a big concerto, right? And that's sort of what I guess you would expect as a guitar soloist to be doing. What was that experience like?
Well, usually people relate guitar to Spain. They think guitar is a Spanish instrument. So the concert with the Hong Kong Phil is called Sketches of Spain. I think that the idea comes from a very classic album called Sketches of Spain by Miles Davis. But it's a nice title. I actually use it for my album too, Sketches of China. But anyway, so we played this most famous guitar concerto called Aranjuez. And also paired with Romance, a very famous Spanish tune, and the Libre Tango by Piazzolla, who is the king of tango. It is a very, very, I think, very nice program. I enjoyed playing them very much.
You mentioned the Concerto de Aranjuez by Joaquin Rodrigo. And you have a very interesting story from your history that intersects with the life of the great composer Joaquin Rodrigo for the guitar. And it has to do with Spain as well, because as a young 14-year-old, you made your debut in Spain?
Yes, it was quite an honorable moment when I gave my debut concert in Madrid. I didn't expect Rodrigo would come to my concert because he was already in his 90s, rarely attend public concerts, public events. And also, I realized that he was coming about half an hour, 40 minutes before I went on stage. My teacher didn't want to tell me he's coming because he thought I would be nervous playing his piece in front of him. But I overheard his conversation with the interpreter. So I realized that he was coming to my concert. I was playing, I think, his most important solo work in my program. So I was very nervous. And then I had the honor to meet him during the intermission. You know, he's blind, so he couldn't see me. So his daughter Cecilia accompanied him in the concert. Cecilia told him that the player was a 14-year-old Chinese girl. He was very impressed. He thought it's an adult professional player. So.
Your second project with the Hong Kong Philharmonic features brand new music for the guitar. So what's the new aspect that you brought for that project?
Yes, it's quite interesting that I was asked to present one piece from China and one Western piece. So the piece from China I chose is called A Lovely Rose, which I recorded in my Sketches of China. It's a piece written for me too, based on the Xinjiang folk tune, very popular folk tune, written for guitar and orchestra. It's a very lovely tune, but I think in this composition, the composer managed to develop this very simple tune the conversation between solo guitar and the orchestra is very interesting. Also, the composer Ren Changfu, he doesn't play guitar, so he asked me to contribute the cadenza. The cadenza is the solo part in the piece. So I wrote the beginning bit and I contributed the middle cadenza bit. So in a way, I got involved in the creation. So I'm very proud of it. I think the end result is very good because I performed this piece quite a few times in the mainland China, and people loved it. Then the Western choice is also interesting. It's the two romances written by sort of your colleague, John Branning, who is also a popular radio presenter in Britain. He was a guitarist before, so he knows the instrument very well. He wrote 6 romances, so I'm going to world premiere these 2 romances with the Hong Kong Phil during at the New Year concerts.
You were also fortunate to gain the support and attention of some other folks along the way, John Williams being one of these people. And it struck me that there might be an interesting story there as well.
Well, yes. I mean, John Williams is really the hero for, I think, every guitarist. When I was young, we listened to his recording a lot. He's the most prolific recording guitarist. We heard a lot of his recordings, and he's a hero for me and others. I had the honor to have met him when I was 17 in my university time in the Central Conservatoire, during a period that I was very, I was very confused about my career, my future. Then I met him, I played for him in the master class, and he gave me great encouragement. So that was a very important moment for me, I think. It's like during a darkest night, he lit a fire for me, and I feel that I can see the future, and I was encouraged.
And you've mentioned the music that's been that you've given the world premiere of, and I think with the orchestra version, but then there's a solo version as well. So if you could give us a couple of thoughts about that particular piece of music.
Yes, it's called Romance Number 3, Sahara. So John Branning wrote this piece when he was on a trip to Sahara, and when he see the sunrise, and he got the inspiration. He stayed in his room and played his guitar. He wrote this piece. I think it's got a really catchy tune. Yeah, yesterday when I was practicing it, and then there's one of my friends heard it, said, "Oh, what's that piece? It sounds really pretty." I think it's very guitaristic. Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.